Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie, host and head bookologist here at the Get Literate podcast. I'm a book loving, notebook hoarding reader and writer on a mission to change lives one book and one notebook at a time. On this podcast, we explore the power of bookology. What's that? That's the study of books and reading and notebooks and writing mixed with mindful practices and creativity to create lives we love. Here, you'll find episodes exploring the reading and writing life and how they can make our actual lives better. You'll get book recommendations and notebooking prompts around particular themes, and you'll even hear from authors and special guests who can fuel our reading and writing hearts and help us take inspired action in our own daily practices. So, grab a notebook and your TBR list, and let's get literate. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Get Literate podcast. I'm Stephanie, and it is Christmas Eve. If you are actually listening to this episode in real time on Christmas Eve, the day it is released, well, then I just want to say a huge thank you. This is a full day, a busy day, and one where I imagine you have a lot of things going on and up in the air. And the fact that you pressed play anytime is one thing, but anytime around the holidays is another. And I am so incredibly grateful that I get to show up in this space every week, especially this week. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I released my gifting episode. I know, we were all so overwhelmed by how many gift guides we were seeing, but this gift guide was a little bit different. They were unexpected gifts for restorative reading and writing. It's going down as one of my most popular episodes yet, and based on a number of downloads, everyone really loved the homemade coupon that I created for you to gift to a bookish and notebookish friend for a session of reading and writing together. I said at the top of that episode that one of the best things we could give to someone, especially someone who wants to grow a restorative reading and writing practice, that best thing is time. And while we can't add time to anybody's day, we haven't quite figured out how to do that yet, we could give the gift of sharing time together. So that homemade coupon extended an invitation to a fellow reader, a fellow writer, to simply spend time together reading and writing. And today, that is exactly the gift that I want to give to you. I want to offer you a heartfelt holiday greeting from me to you and invite you to read and or write with me for 30 minutes. Now remember that 30 minutes is a magical number because if we read, especially for 30 minutes continuously, then we can tell our nervous systems that it is time to calm down the same way we might with 30 minutes of yoga. It is such a reset for our nervous system. And if we're talking about writing, we only need a 15 to 20 minute writing session a couple of times a week to reset our nervous system that way. So today is the gift of time to tell yourself, to remind yourself, to gift yourself 30 minutes of calmness, of enjoyable reading, of festive writing, or just soaking up the backdrop of beautiful instrumental holiday music that I am going to pipe through this podcast episode. And I want to be clear, I am not just recording an introduction and then uploading 30 minutes of instrumental, calm holiday music into the podcast. I am not doing that. I am literally pressing play on this royalty-free, copyright-free holiday music. And I am sitting at my own computer with a comfy drink, a comfy seat, a comfy blanket, and I am reading with you for 30 minutes. So it is my way of giving you that giftable coupon and saying, come read with me. Now, maybe right now it doesn't work for that, and that's okay too. You can come back to the episode, press play, and enjoy it whenever it works for you, whether that's before the holiday or after. Or maybe as you're driving, as you're walking the dog, as you're doing the dishes, you just simply want to let this music wash over you, knowing that someone you have listened to all year long on the podcast is reading alongside you and is almost feels like, together in solidarity. So I'm going to press play in just 1 minute, but I thought you might like to know about the book that I'm reading. The book that I'm reading is for my Kidlit Love podcast, and I can't put it down. Oh my goodness, this book is so good. I'm usually doing lots of holiday reading in December, but this one is just too good to resist. The title is Tear This Down by Barbara D. And this is a book that explores a whole bunch of complexities: history, who wrote it, who rewrote it, whose voices are in it, who voices aren't, the role of being female, the role of being male. Girls do this versus boys do this, and why? You have this young protagonist who has these big questions, these big curiosities of why the world works the way it does. She's not afraid to ask them. It's fantastic and I love it. And I will be reading this book for the entire 30 minutes of our giftable reading session today. Now, just because I'm reading doesn't mean you have to. If you want to get out your notebook and start writing, maybe you're doing expressive writing, maybe you'll do some gratitude journaling, maybe you'll write about your Christmas memories of the past. Whatever you would like to do, I just thought it'd be fun to gift you these 30 minutes together to know that we're literally in it together. So I'm going to go ahead and play 30 minutes of festive holiday music to help you keep track so you don't think you're going to read or write longer than you should and get behind on that to-do list. And after, I'll come back with a quick final holiday greeting. All right, here we go. Royalty-free, copyright-free, instrumental holiday music. Happy reading and writing, everyone. Hey everyone, I am back because that signaled 30 minutes exactly of instrumental Christmas music to help us engage in some reading and writing or just some restful, festive music listening as part of this episode. I know I made a dent in this wonderful novel by Barbara D. I hope you enjoyed some reading, perhaps you enjoyed some writing, or maybe you just enjoyed the music. There were little clips of all sorts of Christmas songs scattered throughout that 30 minutes, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you for always showing up and listening to these episodes and supporting my work and joining in it and connecting together as readers and writers. I wish you all a wonderful holiday, and I will see you inside the next episode. Happy holidays. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Get Literate podcast. You'll find links to all the books, resources, and ideas mentioned in the show notes and at alitlife.com. And if you want more, you might like to join my Patreon community. There, you'll find additional inspiration for your reading and writing life, like bonus podcast episodes, book calendars, monthly book clubs, notebooking inspiration, live events, giveaways, and more. It's only $5 a month, and you get instant access to all of the previous content too. Learn more at getliterate.co. And one more thing, if you love what you listened to today, please take a moment to rate and review the podcast, or take a screenshot of the episode and text it to a friend. This helps the podcast grow, and it builds our bookish and notebookish community too. Thanks for listening.